Welcome to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, and this is a senior citizens forum sponsored by Benefits for You Too Insurance Services, where we believe information keeps you abreast of what you need to know to keep yourself healthy and safe. At Benefits for You Too Insurance Services, we like working with seniors that are 65 and above and people with certain approved disabilities that are under the age of 65. And we provide Medicare Advantage plans, supplemental plans, and prescription drug plans. We all also like to work with people that are under the age of 65 for regular health insurance. But today I'm excited. I'm going to welcome back Mike Brown. Mike was on our show not too long ago where we discussed, what things you could do in retirement. And in that particular show, I hope everybody heard about how wonderful he is and what amazing things he's already done. And we're going to, if you go into his website at impactgrove.com, you're going to learn more about Mike and you'll understand where I'm coming from. We talked at the last show a little bit about the planet or the environment. And if you see on Mike's picture, he has something that says, be certified. So what is be certified? I was so surprised when I opened up my medicine cabinet and I saw something that said it had be certified on it. And that was my cosmetics. So I was really impressed. So hi, Mike, welcome back.
Thank you, Janice. I'm grateful to be back and very happy to be on your show and for the opportunity to be able to share about Impact Grove, the work we're doing, and certified B corporations and the movement of business as a force for good.
Now, Mike puts on these classes, which I am honored to get invited to. I wish I was attending more of them, but the one class that he did put on, it really moved me. And this was several months ago before we hit our now famous hot weather season, okay? And before the terrible fire in Lahaina. And I'm wearing my Lahaina shirt because I was just in Lahaina not too long ago, and my bracelet I bought years ago from Lahaina in honor of them, okay? But this video that he showed was it was from the UN, and it was so empowering to me because it talked about all the different things that we hear about in different increments, but it put it all together. So let's first talk about, Mike, what is B certified?
Yeah, so certified B corporations, the B stands for benefit. So it's about doing business in a way that benefits people, planet, and the profit of the company. So when I went to business school, benefit corporations didn't exist. I went to business school from 2003 to 2006. Benefit corporations didn't exist, so I didn't get the chance to learn about them. And certified B corporations didn't exist because the status quo of business as usual is do everything in your business to make as much money as possible without breaking any laws or doing anything bad that would get you in trouble. That's what we're taught to do as business leaders. And in my own life, I went out and I did that. And I always kind of had a gut feeling, maybe there's another way to do business. And maybe it's not all up to nonprofits and government to kind of clean up the mess that business tends to leave behind. And that's what B corporations are all about. It is about doing business ethically and sustainably in a way that is mindful of stakeholders that we as business depend on to do healthy business in society. And society depends on business to do things ethically and sustainably. We are interdependent. And that is why at B corporations, we have a declaration of interdependence because we acknowledge that. And we're moving away from pure extractive economies into inclusive economies that are mindful of people and the planet while we do business.
I think that's real important that corporations, because we're talking about businesses that are incorporated, that of course they want to make a profit. They want to keep their stockholders happy by making those profits. But I really like the fact that they're caring about the environment and social issues.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
what they can do to help themselves work better, more efficiently. And I have a background from after World War II. There was something called quality circles that I was very much part of in productivity. So this works with my background in that, okay? But it's also that they're working to help with the social, and I know the word environment isn't always politically correct anymore, but it's an important issue right now, okay?
Absolutely. I mean, a way that business, we look at the environment is a growing term is called natural capital. You know, business needs resources from the environment to do business. We need trees, we need water, we need clean air. All these things that business depends on are the same things that we depend on as individual human beings. And we can't continue down pathways that are just non-sustainable ways of doing business that are putting planetary boundaries at risk. There's great frameworks around planetary boundaries, economic models coming out with donut economics and well-being economies that, you know, it's not all about growth at all costs. It's not all about GDP, which is global domestic product. There's other measurements of well-being in society that benefit corporations are beginning to prioritize. And a certified B Corp is actually certified as an entire company for its social and environmental ethics and sustainability. In the late 20th century, we started to see certifications like fair trade, USDA organic, carbon neutral, net zero for individual products or services or segments of companies. And the B Corp movement has grown from those individual product certifications into a certification for the whole business. And that's what makes it unique. And that's what really, to me, sets it apart as the pinnacle summit of a certification of business as a force for good. Not just do no harm, but actually use business as a tool to do good and to make positive impact and to regenerate and to invest back into communities, all while earning a profit. We say, and this is a quote from J. Cohen Gilbert, the founder of B Lab, which is the nonprofit organization that certifies B corporations. Jay says, no margin, no mission. We see margin, meaning profit and money, as the tool to reinvest and increase impact, not profit just to benefit the few owners of the business and the few shareholders of the business, but money as a tool to make impact, not money as the definition of success. Impact is success, not money.
I mean, I agree with all that you're saying. I think that is really good. We need corporations. We need corporations to buy our cars. Mm-hmm. We need corporations to provide our medical supplies that we need. We need corporations for our food. And of course, we need those trees, like you were saying. And it's all part of our life. It's all interwoven together. There's no way we can get around without corporations in our life as an individual.
Yeah, I absolutely. And you know, I think business is one of those 4 pillars of society. Like if we really look at what are the pillars that society is built on, you've got business, You've got trusted, strong government institutions, you have academic institutions, and you have nonprofit organizations that are really cause and mission driven to meet social and environmental needs in ways that that's their only focus. So I think it's, how do we interconnect those four pillars of society so they work more together, not against each other?
I keep thinking about when I was growing up, which is a lot of my audience is going to be here. When we were growing up, we were talking about, well, you can't go down the Missouri or the Mississippi River anymore because it's been contaminated.
Mm-hmm. And then the Environmental Protection Agency was created here in the United States. And I have a story about the Environmental Protection Agency. I mean, back to my roots of becoming an entrepreneur in the mid 2000s. I started a business when I was 19 years old as a college student studying business in modifying high performance luxury vehicles. So imagine the BMWs, the Mercedes, the Camaros, and the Mustangs of the world.
How about a Ferrari?
Ferrari, yes, we definitely did some Ferraris. We definitely did some Lambos. We went full spectrum. And my business was very quote unquote successful. We did over 50 million in revenue. We shipped products, e-commerce, website orders to 177 countries. And I was seen as successful. And what really helped me to change course, and I'm grateful for this, was the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA. 7 agents visited my business and really exposed that we were part of an industry that was doing harm to the environment. Our business individually wasn't a gross offender, but just the fact that I had the EPA doing a site visit and inspection because we were part of the car modification industry put me down a learning journey to be able to learn that there are entire industries that are really just about making money and are purely about consumption around things that we don't really need, that are more about ego and emotion than they are about really needs of society. We weren't fixing cars, we were modifying them. We weren't getting cars back onto the road, we were souping them up, making them Fast and Furious style. So when I think about business and the learning opportunities now, it's, in the 20th century, that form of make money at all costs, it increased the quality of life for society. It really did, because we saw that society took leaps and bounds. But now what we're learning is that way of continuing to just like grow and only do it for the sake of making money, it's kind of it has gotten very out of balance, and it's putting the natural ecosystems at risk that were abundant. And there was 1 billion people starting the 1900s. We're at 8 billion people today, heading towards 10 billion people by the end of this century. And things change. And as things change and we get more information, this is about evolving to be able to change with it for this century. And I think that is built upon some great work from the past, but now we're learning how do we do things heading into the future as well.
Yeah, I think with technology changing so quickly, I think we're able to do this, and I think this helps preserve our planet, which is our home. I don't know how else to describe it, but our planet to me is where we live.
Yes.
And we need to maintain where we live.
And do you know Patagonia, Janice, the apparel?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do know that.
What you just said is their mission statement. Patagonia is one of the world's leading certified B corporations, one of the most well-known, and their mission statement is that Patagonia exists to save our home planet. And what you just said there really reminded me of their entire mission, that when consumers like us choose to shop at Patagonia instead of a competitor to Patagonia, we're essentially voting with our dollars and saying, we'd rather our money go to that type of company than to an alternative type of company. And then Patagonia is using the profits to actually protect land, to buy valuable ecosystems and buy huge swaths of land, literally in the region of South America called Patagonia, and protect it. And do that here in the United States as well. And we're talking billions upon billions of profits being used to protect natural ecosystems. I think that is amazing and super cool. And I just wanted to highlight that as one of my favorite certified B Corps.
And actually, I hope that's where I read the Harvard Review the other day, and they were talking about B certified companies. And I did read about Patagonia and Tom and Jerry's, and there were several of the different lists that were B certified. And I just think it's real important. But one of the things I want to talk about, how do companies become B certified? Okay, that you just don't call up and say, well, hi, I'm Janice, I want to be B certified today. They actually have a list of things that you have to go through that makes you B certified. And they provide companies tools that they need to become B certified.
Correct.
And I just thought that was really interesting and how they do that.
Yep.
And Mike is a great expert in going back to it and what's happening with that. But Mike, I want to jump ahead real quickly because I'm noticing we're talking about a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to share my screen and that video that I was talking about from the United Nations that I saw several months back. I would love for you to share it if you can.
Yeah, I was just actually queuing that up here. And let me go ahead and share. I have my presentation up. I'll put this, give me 1 second just to put it in full screen. Okay. There we go. This should work.
Okay.
Tell you what, I forgot to click a button. Let me click this button so I can share my sound. There we go. And you want me to go ahead and play it now?
Yeah.
All right. So, and I'll cue it up a little bit. So this video, let me make sure, actually, hold on. That's not the correct one. Sorry. I should have this queued up before. This is the one.
I've done that when I try to do this. Okay.
This video is produced by the United Nations, and it is about the Sustainable Development Goals. So the Sustainable Development Goals were produced by the United Nations with experts from around the world about sustainably developing society. And this is about, yes, it's about, you know, developing nations. Think of your emerging markets around the world, but it's also for developed nations as we redevelop, especially after natural disasters that wipe out areas. How do we rebuild? And this video it's a 5-minute video. I will say, you know, it brings up emotions in me every single time I watch it. Our human instinct, frankly, is sometimes to look away from things that make us uncomfortable. I want to encourage each of you as you watch this to come at it with an open mind and with courage so that you're able to absorb the information. It starts with some realism and then it turns towards positivity and what can we do to be part of the change that we want to see. So I find it courageous, inspiring, and informative. I hope you find it the same way, and let's go ahead and play it.
I know when I saw it.
Eight years left to end poverty and hunger, to halve global emissions. It didn't start out as planned. we're not moving in the right direction. Years of progress lost in the pandemic. Escalating conflicts, climate breakdown. So where are we now? For decades, we successfully fought poverty. Now it's on the rise again. 1 out of 10 suffer from hunger, more people than ever forced out of their homes. Climate disasters increasing. Droughts alone estimated to displace 700 million people by 2030. This year, CO2 emissions hit a new record. At this rate, annual emissions will be 14% higher in 2030. Meanwhile, fossil energy receives $700 billion in subsidies from governments.
Your government.
Safe water and sanitation not made accessible fast enough. Progress must quadruple to cover all people by 2030. Women are held back at all levels. At this pace, by 2030, 825 million children won't have secondary level education. Human rights, health, and equality all hurt in the wake of war and disaster. Disrupted economies, food and energy crisis, and galloping costs of living damage global solidarity. Everything interconnected. Everyone intertwined. Business as usual won't cut it. Even though we made progress before, going back to pre-pandemic ways is not enough. We need a new paradigm built on the pillars of our 17 goals. Rethink conventions, flip the orthodoxies. Governments, organizations, corporations, citizens of the world, snap out of it. It's time for bold climate action. To act for women and girls, for social justice and inclusion. Scale up the transition to renewable energy. Create 85 million green jobs. Phase out fossil fuel subsidies and tax carbon. $2.8 trillion. Keep your promises. Support developing nations. Write off debts. Free up $1 trillion for climate resilience, people and communities. $500 billion for Africa to achieve universal energy access by 2030. Commit to a circular economy now. New, resilient food systems. They can cut waste by 17%. Strengthen domestic financial institutions. Make insurance and banking accessible to everyone. Scale up the digital transformation to educate the 1.6 billion kids who missed school in the pandemic. Educate girls, including the 130 million not in school now. Ensure women's equal share of decision-making. Eliminate discrimination against female workers and boost productivity by 40%. We cannot afford to leave anyone behind. We have a to-do list. We have the resources. 8 years to reach our goals. We're on this planet together, so let's work together. Let's get the list done.
Oh, that is so powerful.
It gets me every time, that's for sure.
So powerful. So why everybody, we need to take a break after that for just a moment to hear from our sponsor, Benefits for You Too, and we'll be right back.
Here at Benefits for You Too Insurance Services, we believe knowledge is power when it comes to selecting the correct healthcare and Medicare insurance. Please contact us at healthcareoptions at benefitsforyou2.com or call us at 310-245-0332.
Well, welcome back to WGSN-DB Going Solo, and this is Senior Citizens Forum, and I'm back with Mike Brown, who I am so happy that I've been able to make. I can call him my friend, okay? And I've learned so much from him, and we're talking about B certification and the planet. And we just saw a little video that Mike had that was extremely powerful. And one of the things that he and I were just talking about on the break is that there was a siren and there was an alarm clock. And I took that to mean that we better start taking care of our, which we called earlier, our home, our planet. And I guess I can say time is running out.
Yes, time definitely is running out. And I mean, on the topic of the UN, the IPCC, the International Panel on Climate Change, definitely has the stats, the data to prove it, that we do experience natural climate transitions, you know, on the Earth, but there's unquestionable data that shows that human activities is causing an acceleration. You know, I had to learn what the topic greenhouse gas really meant. If anybody has ever been in a greenhouse, it's designed to actually trap humidity and trap heat, because that helps plants inside the greenhouse to grow that are more in that tropical environment. That's essentially what we're doing by burning fossil fuels and combusting them. We're releasing gases that go up into the atmosphere and they stay there. And it's creating a greenhouse effect in our atmosphere that is accelerating anything that naturally would be occurring from a warming perspective. And that is what the topic is all about. That's the most simple way that I can put it. And as a former car guy myself, leading a business that modified cars, I've been around a lot of exhaust systems. It's unquestionable that those accumulate and are able to have a global impact as we've moved from 1 billion humans to over 8 billion humans, and we've modernized society. It's back in the day, it wasn't that impactful. Today, it is huge every single day. And the faster we can transition, it's not a snap of the fingers light switch type of thing where we just turn off fossil fuels. But the faster that we can transition towards cleaner sources of energy, cleaner sources of transportation, cleaner sources of food production and consumption, things that don't take as much resources to produce, the better that we will have in the future from the health of our planet. And one way or another, Janice, the planet's going to be here. Not to be doomsday, because that's not my nature. Planet's going to be here. The question is whether human beings can maintain the quality of life that we have on this planet into the future or not. And
I think the best way for me to look at it is that we all know there was the era of the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Historic area. They had their time on Earth. How they became extinct, I don't know. But are humans going to become extinct like dinosaurs?
Well, yeah, the difference is we're doing it to ourselves.
Right.
Yeah, but I say yeah only if we don't change course. And I'm optimistic that the course correction is already underway. It just has significant resistance by people that benefit from the status quo as it has been. So it is a bit of a battle to see this transition through for the health of the planet, so that we can maintain a healthy society for human beings. I'm optimistic. I'm an optimist. That's why I'm an entrepreneur. I believe that we will turn the path. We just need more citizens to expect it and demand it from business, because businesses are market driven. We look at what are consumers asking for, what are they demanding, and we meet that need. So the more consumers that say, you know what, I want the greener alternative. I want to buy from a certified B corporation. I want to vote with my dollars every single day in that. the more consumers and customers that are like that, the more businesses will move faster in the transition. If people are like ostriches and just kind of stick their head in the sand and ignore it because it's uncomfortable, and they are driven more by convenience and by the status quo that benefits them, well, then companies aren't going to change that fast.
But I think yesterday here in California, where Mike and I live, and we live in Southern California, we had a tropical storm, a hurricane turned into tropical storm, which hasn't been in this area since 1938. Okay. And I spoke to someone who said, well, it was a dud like I thought it was going to be. But in the area where we live, yes, we got some rain and a little bit of wind. But in other areas, they were really affected by it.
Like in Palm Desert.
In the Palm Desert. So just because you personally are being affected by something doesn't mean that somewhere else is being affected. Now, I have a friend, I always talk about her, who lives outside Yosemite, and they lost some oak trees up there. And that wasn't one of the targeted areas, okay? Or is anybody talking about that area? But I just have some wet outside, okay?
Yeah.
But others are affected by it.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, if we didn't receive forecasts and warnings, if we rewound ourselves back to the 30s, when people were really unprepared and building codes haven't been updated over the last 85 years to make buildings more resilient to water and to above average winds, we probably would have seen more damage. If there were not news agencies and there weren't weather forecasters saying, hey, this thing is coming north, it's currently a hurricane, it's going to turn into a tropical storm, it could be very significant, there would have been more people driving, there would have been more people working, there would have been more kids outside, we wouldn't have been hunkered down and prepared, and it would have been a lot worse if we were just completely like, oh yeah, it's just another Saturday and Sunday in Southern California in August, it's going to be fine. People would have been unprepared, and there would have been more car accidents, more deaths from car accidents. There would have been more flooding. There were people who weren't prepared with sandbags. There would have been roads opened that should have been closed, that were closed, that kept people from getting into floodwaters and dying. You would have had unhoused people still in the LA River and in storm areas. They would have never have known. They would have got swept away. You could have seen absolute calamity, but there was lots of preparation. And that's an analogy for what we're seeing in the global business community. It's like, yes, things are not terrible right now. They absolutely are forecasted to be, and let's get prepared for it and let's do something now.
But I would say, from my watching the news and what's happening, I think they're showing us where ocean levels are rising. People are losing their homes on islands. So we're not seeing it personally.
Yes.
But it is already happening where people are already starting to be displaced because it's too hot where they live.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I mean, each year, each summer over the last couple of summers, this is why I've been paying more attention to it. It gets a little bit hotter. Maybe it's only a degree. But it makes a difference to all of us.
It absolutely, you're very, very, very accurate in that. And just because we don't personally see it doesn't mean that it's not happening. And it's not any sort of an agenda. It's just facts. It's the truth. It's happening. And what we can do as individuals and as companies and as cities and as communities, we can make an impact. And, you know, I literally say, Janice, that if I'm quote unquote successful in the work I do to help companies do better, maybe by the year 2050, when my daughter is an adult, she does have a healthy environment still. And maybe there's people that say, see, there was never a problem to begin with. all that, but it's because we did the work now so that it doesn't get worse. And I will happily have somebody say to me when I'm, in my later years, say, all that work you did, it was all for something that didn't even exist. And I'll say, I'm glad that it didn't come to be because we did the important work to see that it didn't get worse.
And that's why I have you on here, because what can, as an individual, can I do? Okay. I'm not a big corporation, but I have my show that reaches people. Okay. As individuals. Okay. What can we do? And my answer to that is, let's support B certified businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you see there right on Mike's screen, I don't know if anybody can see my arrow. You see the B certified. The other day I was so excited, I was watching something and a commercial came on for mattresses and they said they were B certified. I really excited me. So how do I, as an individual, find out how to support B certified companies and make sure I'm buying their products?
Absolutely. So it takes thoughtfulness, it takes intentionality. So the first thing that an individual can do is to set a mindset to build a new habit of behavior of seeking out certified B corporations in all of their consumer decisions. To your point, you found a mattress company. There's health and wellness supplement brands. There's cosmetic brands. There's banks where we put our money, which is then invested into the economy, into good or bad companies. There's professional services firms. There's attorneys. There's CPAs. There's all these types of businesses that there's actually not a car company yet, but I believe that we'll get a certified B Corporation automotive brand soon. So all across the economy and all of the ways that we can, quote unquote, vote with our dollars, vote with our wallets, we have the power. And I mentioned earlier, companies only respond to the market. And there's a growing segment of what we call conscious consumers that want to do the right thing with their purchasing decisions. Look for certified B corporations. You can go to bcorporation.net. There's a directory there. You can search, you can discover companies all around. When you're shopping online, you can type in certified B Corp coffee, certified B Corp attorney, certified B Corp accountant, certified B Corp mattress, and you can intentionally look for it. It works on Amazon. It works at Target.com. It works everywhere. It just takes the mindset of the individual consumer to look for it, because nobody's like going to say, here's all the B Corps, now do this. And you got to put the effort out there to vote with your wallet.
Go with your wallet. I mean, it's just your companies, your grocery companies. I mean, my favorite one was going to be Ben & Jerry's, who's always been environmentally conscious, and they became a B Corp, and they even became more with within the social. So it is out there. You can find it. And if Mike, you can give me some links, we'll post those links. Okay. And we'll put it out there. I just think this has been such a great show today. I totally believe that the planet is our home. So if you're if your home happens to be a house or an apartment building or you live in a trailer. I mean, there's all different places that you can live. You have to maintain your home. And we live on the earth, which is our planet. We have to maintain it.
Absolutely.
And take care of it. And yes. I don't know how to make this more important, because I think this is one of the most important shows, because all the other things doesn't matter if we don't have a healthy, sustaining planet to live on.
I think I love that message, Janice. I couldn't agree with you more. I feel your heart in it too. And there may be people here that are working at companies that maybe would be qualified to be certified B Corps. There are companies that are leading with values and purpose and impact. One of my passions is to help companies navigate the process to become a certified B Corp. It's actually part of the consulting work that I do at Impact Grove. So if anybody that's watching this would like to have kind of a Sherpa to climb Mount Everest of the summit of business as a force for good, consider me the Sherpa of that journey for you, because I've helped multiple companies become certified B Corps, and I'm a certified B Corp myself. So I wanted to put that out there, because sometimes one of the other ways that we can make an impact with this show is to help more companies become conscious companies as certified B corporations officially, so that there's more choices for conscious consumers to go and buy from as well. And we need both to rise together so that we can keep the planet healthy, we can get it back into balance, and we can have a healthy society to build upon for many millennia into the future.
Right. But this is, for me, this is like, as individuals, we have to support these corporations. And if other corporations see us doing business with B certified corporations, then they're going to want to become B certified.
That happens all the time. That is market pressure. And then those companies go through the process to become B certified, and they get even better for people on the planet. And I'll tell you what, their profit increases at the end of the day too, because they attract more customers and more engaged talent on their workforce.
Now, one of the things that we see here, it says B certified, and it says 1% for the planet. So B certified, I take that as meaning that B certified corporations also give back 1% to the planet.
Yeah, they don't have to, but part of the way that companies earn points to become certified B Corps is by systematically, not randomly, but systematically having governance that funnels revenue towards nonprofit initiatives. So 1% for the planet is one of those systematic ways that I, as a company, I submit my tax returns to 1% for the planet, which is a nonprofit, and I donate at least 1% of my top line revenue, not my profit, because profits are manipulated all the time by companies for tax reasons. My top line revenue, 1% or more of that goes towards vetted environmental nonprofits that are working to protect ecosystems, biodiversity, animal life, human ecosystems that we need, trails, open spaces that we as humans, we don't want to live in a concrete jungle. We want to live in natural spaces. That's what these environmental nonprofits are doing. And the data shows that only 3% of entire nonprofit giving goes towards anything that protects the environment. 97% goes towards other nonprofits. So 1% for the planet's mission is to partner with companies to help restore balance to that giving ratio, so that more money goes to the planet, because we all depend on it.
I think that's so important, because I know the nonprofits do all kinds of different types of work. I was at a botanical garden in South Bay, Torrance, Rancho Palos Verdes area the other day, and they had all these sculptures that were made out of the trash they took out of the ocean.
I love it. I mean, it's so cool to turn waste into value, waste into art, to share the message and bring it home.
Share that message. Yes, it was just really interesting to read all the different things about the different sculptures. So I would recommend anybody that lives in this area to go over there and see it, because you're going, what are we doing? What are we doing? Well, we're running out of time for today, and I can tell Mike and I could go on and on. And if you need to get a hold of Mike, we're going to have all the information posted on how to get a hold of Mike at Impact Grow. If you need any help with your health insurance, Medicare insurance, please give me a call. I'm more than happy to help you out. And if you have any questions, and I can help you out with, information on the B certified, I would love to answer any questions that you have for us. And if you want to post anything about us on social media, please do. Thank you, Mike, for coming. I hope I can get you to come back again in the future, because it's always so informative. And for me, this particular show has been so emotional.
Well, thank you, Janice. It was an honor, a privilege to be here. I appreciate the opportunity, and just to get the word out about certified B corporations and business as a force for good. I appreciate it. So thank you for what you're doing, and it was great to be here.
Okay, thank you very much. This is WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. Bye.
Hi, I'm John Thomas. I want to share with you a professional products and services directory we call Going Solo Directory. And you need to check this out. If you want exposure to your business or are seeking professional product or services, this directory has it all. And that membership, for the many special features, you get the benefit of a worldwide exposure with a 40-minute video interview on an international business show showcase. All this for just one low annual fee. For more information, contact GoingSoloDirectory.com.